I'm out, I gotta get that right stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna get started now. You wanna skip the pledge or? Since we've done it already.
You need to do roll call again. I'm gonna call
Mr.
it.
West,
Pardon?
Present.
Mr. Clevenger,
Present.
Mr. Chardy,
Here.
Mr. Ham.
Here.
Ms. Gibbons, or
Here.
Mr. Gibbons, sorry.
This is, you're not here, but I can go get her if you want her. I'm sure you'd rather have her here than me. Easy. Okay. Need approval for the May 10th, 2022 executive session and regular council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Motion made by Rich, seconded by Sally. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we needed approval of the April financial reports. I think everybody got them. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Sally. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bill Ham. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor, let's signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Next, we have second reading of ordinance 2022-003. And as you will note in the town manager report, Mr. Clevenger has made some adjustments.
Is that the one you have? Yep, you're good.
Thought I printed it off. So I'm gonna read it and we'll go from there. Ordinance 2022-003. Rezone of 415 Lakeshore Drive from commercial to planned unit development, or PUD, commonly known as a PUD. Whereas the Culver Plan Commission, after legal notice and public hearing thereon, has favorably recommended to the Culver Town Council by a vote of 8 ayes to 0 nays. One member was absent from the meeting. The application of Manor Custom Homes on behalf of the landowner, Drywall Real Estate LLC, as certified by the Culver Plan Commission Secretary, Don Fox, dated May 2nd, 2022, a copy of which is attached here too, and made a portion thereof as Exhibit A to rezone the planned unit development PUD from current zoning of commercial C2 in accordance with said application, the following parcel. Lots numbered 15 and 16 in Knapp addition to the town of Culver, Marshall County, Texas, except the west 50 feet thereof. Also the west 50 feet of lot numbered 15 and north 15 feet of the west 50 feet of lot numbered 16 in Knapp addition to the town of Culver City, Marshall County, Indiana. Parcels ID number 5021160308810000014. Parcel number 502116303082000014. Parcel number 021630300840000014. And parcel number 5021163030830000014. Its common address is 415 Lakeshore Drive, Culver, Indiana. And whereas the Culver Town Council, having agreed and reviewed said recommendation and noting that the application was revised and redesigned such that the development was consistent with the need for additional residential property in Culver, respected the rights of property owners in the neighborhood and reflected the architecture of downtown Culver, where hereby adopts the favorable recommendation of the Culver Plan Commission to amend the zoning map and to have the use and development of the site governed by the planned unit development, PUD, primary plan subject to approval of a secondary plan. And whereas the PUD application and preliminary plan was considered pursuant to the Culver zoning ordinance and is in conformance with the Culver comprehensive plan. Now therefore, be it ordained, the town council of the town of Culver, Indiana as follows. Section 1, the Culver Plan Commission proposal regarding the PUD for the subject property located at 415 East Lakeshore Drive, Culver, Indiana, including the preliminary plan and the attached documents. The said preliminary plan is now approved. In general terms, the development requirements set forth in those documents shall apply to the PUD, subject to the secondary plan review of the Culver Plan Commission. Section 2, pursuant to the Indiana Code and the Culver zoning ordinance, Article 5, planned unit development, Section 040, procedure for approval of the planned unit development, the zoning map for the town of Culver shall be amended to reflect the property at issue identified in the preliminary plan shall now be designated as a PUD zoning district. Copy of the now adopted amendment to the zoning map will be incorporated by reference into the zoning ordinance for the town of Culver and shall be printed, and a copy therefore shall be located in the office of the town of Culver treasurer. That's the ordinance. And is there a motion to approve on the second reading?
Point of information on this. Is this revised from what we passed last time in the first reading?
It was.
And if so, do we have to go back through the passing it the first time?
I'm sorry.
All right, so this is revised from what was
It is-
passed at our last meeting.
It is revised from the last meeting. The last one, if you recall, didn't have a legal description spelled out. It didn't make reference to the certification from the Plan Commission about their favorable recommendation, which is attached to this one. And it kind of spruces up some of the earlier one.
Does that make this the first reading on this as opposed to?
The general import is basically the same. I mean, it's however you want to treat it.
It was just a point of information I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean,
This is first read or second read?
The first one Jenny did, and
Yeah, Karen and I put it down as second read because the first read was still passing the rezoning. We just didn't reference the certification letter from
I-
the Plan
I
Commission.
recognize the differences between the two. It's just a question, I guess, of formality of what we're doing tonight. If it is first or second read that we're considering.
I would move that this be on first read.
Okay,
that would be fine.
is there a second to that effect?
I'll second for purposes of discussion.
Motion been made and seconded that this be adopted as a first read.
If it's going to be the first read of this, do we have to go through publication again? And notice that we were doing a hearing on this as opposed to.
You didn't really have to do a hearing the first time around. You just did because that's kind of always what you have done.
Yeah, and
But
it's been published.
It's not
as an
required in
agenda
your
item.
ordinance or the statute.
Okay,
Basically just cleaning up what was done
I-
2 weeks ago.
I recognize that. I just want to make sure that
Okay,
since Karen is not here to tell us about those publication issues, if we needed to do it or not.
okay, we got a motion and a second that this be considered the first read.
And just to be clear, we don't have to do a separate public notice. It's just the notification on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Move to suspend the rules for second and third reading.
Is there a second?
We have to, we need to
Well, we need
approve
we need a motion to approve this on first read. All we
I thought
did,
that's what we just did.
no, you wanted to do it, that this would be a first read rather than a second read. Second. I'm saying this right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now
because
motion
this
to
is
approve it
revised.
on.
now we
first.
need a motion to approve it on the first read. All you were doing the original was, this was gonna be a second read of what was done before. And your motion was to make this a first read.
Yeah.
Okay, we approved to make it a first read. Now, is there a motion to approve this on first read?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion that we approve ordinance 2022-003 on first read. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
I recuse myself as I did in the original vote because I have business relationships with the owners of the property.
Motion carries 4-1.
4-0 with one
4-0
abstention.
with one abstention, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, move to approve on second, third reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Bill Clevenger, second by Bill Ham to approve ordinance 2022-003 on second and third reading. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Recused, so passes 4-0-1. Thank you very much. Next. Yes, sir.
Can we ask one question? Jim, where does this leave us?
Okay, well, I took the petition for judicial review as premature, but now that we've, now that we have a final decision, I suppose, I don't know that the court will make him refile or whatever, and we have already started to put together a transcript so that we can get this matter before the judge for his review of the proceedings. And we're-
Just so you and Dean know, I gave the construction schedule to Chuck and I asked him to put it on the Plan Commission agenda, that they've received all the secondary review documents at this point so that Chuck can review those and he can make a recommendation to the Plan Commission about accepting those documents. And then I realize there's also an outstanding performance bond that I need to get back to Sarah and Dean, and I will get that done this week so that we can get that taken care of, which I don't believe is a requirement of the secondary review, but I know we need to get that done as well.
One other question, does this allow us to procure a permit?
Well, at this point, if you've met everything, the Plan Commission is going to theoretically have to approve the secondary plan.
And then you can get your permit. Because I think our ordinance says that that secondary review has to be accepted by the building commissioner and the Plan Commission, and then you're free to get your permit.
But, so you know, I think the counsel for the petitioners is going to seek some kind of a stay of our issuing a permit till the hearing on judicial review.
He's going to seek a stay.
Right.
What if he doesn't?
Well, then I guess we're free to do our thing. Although typically when you do file a petition for judicial review, it sort of stays everything and stops everything, and that very well may be the case. I told him he was premature, so when he did it the last time, he hadn't exhausted his administrative remedies, so he couldn't keep us from moving forward. But so that's why he said, well, I'm going to try and do my thing. So I'll have to check to make sure. It may very well be that we'll have to wait till the hearing. And it's really not a hearing. There is no evidence. The judge just reviews the transcript and has arguments from both sides and then makes a decision.
He has requested a response from town.
I'm sorry?
He has requested a response to the courts from the town and also from us.
He's filed a petition for judicial review. I am going to respond.
Does that mandate a response?
Doesn't necessarily, but I am going to respond, yes.
What else?
I don't represent you. You have to do your own thing, I guess. I'm only going to enter my appearance for the Plan Commission and the Town Council and respond on their behalf, not on your behalf.
To be continued.
I assumed he named you to try and stay the proceedings.
Well, the whole
But-
purpose is to postpone this thing.
And we are trying to get that put together. We've been transcribing the hearing. It's tough from a video,
Yeah.
and especially for somebody that wasn't there, doesn't know the players. We're gonna have to,
I was gonna suggest that I might spend some time with Bobby when she's gonna work on it, because I think she's having trouble distinguishing whose voice is whose, because there's not video correlation. Even though she is the name of the members, they don't all refer to each other like, Don, what do you say?
Right.
and there's not really a video because it was done over at the high school. So it's all audio, which makes it tough. But we're working, that they sought a motion to extend the time when the recording is done. It's supposed to be done within 30 days. And my goal is to get it done within 30 days.
The plaintiff is really arguing that the planning commission didn't go through proper procedure and everything, right? I mean, that's kind of their argument. I'm asking why is
Yeah,
Ferrari
kind of.
involved in that? I mean, I don't understand how the contractors even. So you're gonna
We had
say
this conversation. We don't know really
they
why
should
they are.
be cut from the-
Yeah, I don't know. The argument to some extent is that our zoning ordinance doesn't match state statute in some key areas.
That's why I don't understand what he's trying to do, naming Ferrari and inquiry, because they have nothing to do with planning. Sorry, go ahead.
Moving on. Tax abatements for Sand Hill Farm and the Paddocks.
Yes, Karen has the tax abatement forms in your book here, both from Sand Hill and ACPI
Right.
and Paddocks, to show that they're in compliance. And we would like to have those approved.
Is there a motion to approve the tax abatements for Sand Hill Farm and the Paddocks? And ACPI?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion made by Bill Ham, seconded by Sally to approve the tax abatements of Sand Hill Farm and the Paddocks and ACPI. Any discussion? Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Fiber hut agreement.
Yes, I sent you a draft of what the RTC company gave me. I've had some questions that I sent to them, some of which Rich and I have discussed. I do not have the answers yet, so I'm going to suggest we table this for the next meeting until we get those answers, and I can get you an updated draft and also then have Jim look at it. Because, for example, the lease agreement basically says they'll provide internet connectivity to our street department building as the rental. And typically I would think we'd want to collect actual rent and
Right.
make that more of a,
It's a 50-year lease with 4 renewals within 200 years. Broadband is not going to
yeah.
be cutting edge technology, I would say. Speaking of board scouting, right?
Okay, let's
So,
let's
so
move
we
this.
want to do a little work on that before you actually sign on for that, so. we
And
can move on.
it may not even be the first one in June, it may be the second one.
Possibly,
So
depending on how
let's just
quickly I can get you
Move
the
it to where we
answers.
need it to be, sure. Miller's Mary Manor false alarm billing.
Yes, I gave you copies of a letter that went out to Miller's. We have a representative here from Miller's who disagrees with the letter that the fire department sent out. This is regarding false alarms. And so I wanted I told her I was not authorized to change the fee in that letter or any of the, that's, I don't have that authority. I told her she would have to come before you, so she wanted to be put on the agenda. This is her, and then Terry is well aware of this situation and has a copy of this as well, so I will let you present.
Please state your name and address and.
I'm Mackenzie Hojera, the administrator at Miller's Mary Manor, 730 School Street. I just took the position at Miller's and Culver in February. I spoke with other managers that have been there for 20 plus years, so they're well aware of any time an alarm would go off. They're not aware of any instances. I'm sure that these instances, the fire department was dispatched in some regard, but they're not aware of any instances prior to the March 24th incident of this year. We also never received a bill until March 24th. The incident, the first bill that we got was actually dated 4/25 of this year. So if it was an ongoing issue, based on what I read, we should have gotten a bill back in August of 2021 for $250. I actually think Terry came on site when the incident occurred on April 6th. Essentially what I was made aware of, the incidents on March 31st and April 6th were a faulty sensor that we wouldn't have been privy to prior to it happening. We run on an alarm system, you guys are probably aware, with sprinklers for the protection of the residents and a full fire alarm panel. The alarm sounded, we do what we usually do. We remove the residents from the area that it says it's alarming. We activate the alarm. We make sure there's no fire. There was not smoke or flames, but we weren't aware where the issue was coming from. So that's how the fire department gets involved. When I found out that it was an issue with the alarm panel, I called the company out. They're 3 hours away. They fixed the issue, and since then we haven't had a concern. So I know that there's an ordinance, and I know that the firefighters are busy and they're on voluntary basis, and certainly I would not condone false alarms by any means. But I do want to make sure the residents are safe. So the issues that I was aware of, we got it fixed. We haven't had a problem since then. But the other dates, I could not come up with any information of why the alarm sounded on those dates, or why we didn't receive a bill, or maybe just a phone call from, it's a
So
small
then-
town. I'm new to the town. I don't live here, but I think a call could have been sufficient of what's going on over there. But maybe that's not how it works. So if there's any way to reduce the bill or waive the fees.
The question, you said that there's a technical or a problem with the alarm panel for the alarms on the 31st and the 6th. What about on the 24th?
The 24th, I do know of that one. The fire department did not come out. Dave Jordan is my maintenance supervisor. He's been at the building since 1997. He recently had a medical leave, and when he came back, he had to run a fire drill for our regulations. He forgot to put the system on test mode, so it alerted the fire department. He let them know right away. They did not have to come out, and he's aware of that incident. So I do see how that would be. Irritating, but the bill to be that late, and now it's, the first incident that was stated was May 13th of last year, over a year ago. So,
What happened on March 31st?
it was the sensor that went off.
Oh, the sensor?
Yeah, so I thought that it was fixed, and then a week later it happened again. And the fire panel company they didn't really have answers, and to be honest, I'm not sure how that all works or how we would even know to do preventative maintenance on those things. We do have to check the smoke detectors monthly. We have to get our fire panel checked quarterly. So it sounds like it was just a freak incident that happened. And not something that we could have prevented. But I wouldn't consider it necessarily a false alarm. The system was working and it triggered something that they thought was wrong, so.
Terry, do you have anything you want to add?
I
I really don't have any part in the billing of how it is. I know that every time we were called, we went there and we've never found anything or found anything wrong. They've always reset the panel, and a few of them are kind of close together, like 3 or 4 days. And I know when we go there, you'll see some of the times, a lot of them early in the morning and late at night. So the third shift people were saying, we don't know what to do. It's like, well, you just got to get the alarm reset and have somebody come check it. We always tell them, have the alarm company come check it. Once the alarm goes off, it's a sign of something. Whether if there's smoke in there, I get it. If it's carbon monoxide, I get it. But if it's not, something's telling that alarm to go off. So every time that an alarm goes off, like a smoke detector, you need to get new, get replaced, get it. And I tell them that every time I go. I said, you gotta have somebody come check the panel every time. When it goes off, somebody needs to come and work on it. We're not specialists in that. I just know that when it goes off, we call us, we get up, we go up there, check everything out to make sure everything's okay, and walk away.
Questions from council, comments?
Who does the billing, and, I mean, why would it take a full year to send a bill?
Usually billing goes through, our secretary sends it to Karen, who actually bills through the town. We don't actually send the bill, the town does. And if the secretary gets the information from Karen, then Karen sends the bill out. And in this case right here, they were sporadic and didn't happen very often. And at the end, you can see that they were happening. We had 3 of them within no time. And I just went to the secretary and I said, you need to go back and check what's going on. I know we've been there before. And as the ordinance reads, it's within 12 calendar months. So he went back and read the last 12 months and said, this is how many we've got. Well, then I guess you should probably write it up and send it to Karen. And because they don't happen sporadic, we don't check it all the time. We don't, 4 times we're like, okay, let it go. And that happened in 8 months time. So it didn't happen. I guess the last 3, bing, 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 it happened within days. And that's what spurred that over the top for me to say we need to check out, because I know we've been there.
Sure.
That's why.
Any questions, any recommendations, comments? Adjustments suggested, anything? The amount we're talking about is $2,100. You're asking, what's your ask?
I would like to waive anything since that happened before I started on February 1st. So we would be even at 0. Because I got the issue fixed there. I know they had other administrators. I don't know if they were made aware of this. The long-term, my director of nursing has been there for 20 years. We have Dave for 25 years. They weren't aware that this was an issue for us. So
I don't know what you, I did it. It was in 2015 that ordinance was written, so.
yeah, I didn't know.
In 2015, you had a rash of alarms.
Right, that's probably why the ordinance was written, sure.
If it was written, there wouldn't define initiated.
Well, we can do one of 2 things. We can honor her request, or we can, when Karen gets back, we can.
I had a recommendation myself.
All right, go ahead.
I understood the March 24th situation because the maintenance person did call us off, so we didn't show up for the call. If we were to waive what happened then and before, it would be a $1,000 bill. I do feel the fire department is justified because it happened frequently enough. We usually forgive the first once or twice, but when it happens this many times a year, that's the reason we wrote the ordinance. So it's rare that the fire department will take the time to actually put one of these letters out and go through
Right.
trouble.
Yeah.
It's only happened 4 times.
And once we send the letter, we find these things tend to stop.
Okay.
So
But it
that's
was
my
stopped, it
recommendation.
was stopped before the letter was sent. Right when I was made aware, I called the company and got it fixed. So,
It's the council's wishes.
I think we need to reach some type of a compromise because we do have an ordinance in place. I don't think we can exactly ignore the ordinance. These were calls for service. And I'm a little confused as to the dates myself, but I would be willing to entertain, at least I'd support some compromise on this.
Because I would ask Terry if you think that Jenny suggested is a reasonable accommodation, or do you think that?
Well, the money issue to me is nothing because the money goes to the general fund. It doesn't come to the fire department. I mean, we get money from the general fund. The fines that are paid towards this all go into the general fund. This was written so because the equipment that you're using and the guys that you're using at the times of day are quitting their jobs and jumping and getting up in the morning early, late at night. A lot of these cars, you see the times of them are usually not 8:30 in the morning when everyone's awake and walking around and stuff. And I believe that's why the ordinance was made to begin with. Ever since we did make the ordinance, every time that we have written a letter to personal or school, we've never had a call back of places again. And made them pay attention to the laws and stuff. Because it's going to cost you one way or another, it's going to cost you money to exactly something. Maintain that, and that's not our job. We come to help them, and that's all. I'm not against them, whatever, so way you guys see fit to build them.
No, you're being helpful.
I don't. We have no, I have no numbers, I didn't have the numbers for the call, and I was there when they wrote it, and
I like the $1,000 for a couple reasons. One is the way Jenny presented it, and but the other one is that it happens to be almost about 50%. We're throwing in an extra $100, so it's a true compromise in my mind.
The motion to
A motion to charge it
$1,000.
$1,000, discounted to $1,000.
I second.
Motion's been made by Bill Ham, seconded by Bill Bill Levenger. See, I needed that Coke. That we lower the bill to Miller's to $1,000. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. No, I'm just.
Was that-
no, I'm just-
Was everyone an eye on that?
Yes, there
Sorry,
was.
I was watching this thing and admitting someone. Okay,
now that
thank you.
you passed that motion, then you still have the ordinance in place. How do we proceed if they have a false alarm?
Start from
You bill
the
them.
I don't think we agree to forgive or to negate the alarms that take
Right.
place. I think according to the ordinance, if, there were 3 of them in March and April, and if there's another one that's a false alarm, it would count.
I just want to make sure, clarify.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's also imperative to just be fair and consistent with billing, get it in timely, and then we'll pay.
Yes.
I understand what you're saying, and we'll pass that on.
Yeah, we don't want to be unfair
Yeah, we
about it.
don't need to go back. We need to be timely is what your recommendation is, and that's very reasonable.
You can't react to what you don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
You bet.
I also appreciate your professionalism.
Yes, you've been very professional. Yes, sir,
I
Kerry.
have a question. Is there any kind of potential for a process of phone calling to verify whether
No, once that is dispatched, they go.
Well, they call our central alarm company first. And they ensure that, and if we're like, yeah, it's going off and it's saying this zone, there must be something wrong,
Yeah, for
then
liability.
they call them.
Yeah, for
I had to
liability.
read that ordinance.
They can't call them off.
Right, I mean, it's true.
You don't want to call
Well, it could be,
Not without determining the cause.
Right,
it could be wiring in the walls or
them. You gotta
something.
go.
right. And, you know, Terry's doing everything he can to help them, you know, so it doesn't reoccur. It's on both sides. Okay, we got that resolved. Moving on, Readi Grants.
Yes, you skipped over unsafe building update, but I assume because we had our unsafe building meeting, you're good with
Oh, I'm sorry.
skipping over that update?
I didn't go, yeah, I marked it off. Let's go back to unsafe building.
Okay. So you just had your hearing and we'll have, Jeanette will take care of the new letters that need to go out
Right.
related to the 3 demos. And then we had some letters go out not for unsafe, but for cleanup.
Right.
And Jeanette will follow up with letters on those as well because that deadline has passed. No one requested a hearing from those.
From those,
however.
okay.
I would like to suggest that the council instruct the police department to create temporary no parking spaces in front of that area and instruct the public works department to put barricades that will extend into the street to create a walkway safely around that area.
You're talking about in front of the movie theater.
Yes, so it's not just the horses blocking the sidewalk, but actually
The parking spots.
those
Parking
those
spots.
3 parking spots there are temporarily designated as no parking, and then put barricades actually in the street to create a walkway so people can walk in the street without being.
Having to walk around the cars.
Okay, so like the barricades on each side of
Both sides.
those 3 parking spots, so they can
Well, create
pass through.
create a pathway, a walkway, just a
Okay.
U-shaped walkway going from sidewalk to sidewalk around that. Until the obstruction is removed and it's determined safe to have pass down the sidewalk.
There's some wedges there for folks getting off the curb.
Ramp,
Rich, why don't you get with if this passes? Or if that's a motion,
Yeah.
what I was getting at, if that's a motion, why don't you coordinate it with,
I'll talk to Bob.
Do we have a second to that motion first?
second?
Yeah, I'm all for that motion. Once we know that we face a
Right.
potential liability, we need to do something about it.
And you know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
Don't push it.
Call for a vote on that.
Through the frog.
Don't mess with Texas. Motion was made and seconded to Rich's motion about putting the barricades and blocking off 3 spots in front of the movie theater
Temporarily closing down
Close
3
it.
parking spots.
till the marquee has been removed. Motion was made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Sorry, thanks for catching that for me. Now we're ready.
Okay, Readi Grants. The only news I have is that the South Bend Elkhart region has signed their contract with the state for the Readi Grants. And they are going to, they're going to go into the communities and sort of do an informational session in each of the communities, including Marshall County. Once I know the date for that, I'll let you know. But right now, the way Marshall County is setting this up is the Crossroads committee that has a Readi Grant committee on it. The new CEO of South Bend Elkhart region. We'll have a meeting with her. Her name's Bethany. She used to be one of the officers so now she's the new CEO. Our team will meet with her, and then there will also be other opportunities for other people in the public and elected officials to meet with the South and Elkhart region. So I'll loop you guys in. After the Crossroads team meets with them, I'll send you an update on that. That's the only news so far.
Unmanaged report.
Sure. I'm going to skip that first section on unsafe demolitions and the repair cleanup because you're aware of what's going on there already. State Road 10 sidewalks of Jefferson Street. The punch list is actually done. There is one project being completed there before we remove the signs outside of this punch list, and that is the power company property fix that Fort Group is paying for. So everything else on that punch list is done except for the sod. That sod should be completed in the next week. And the problem there was supply issue, delay in getting the sod. So I think by our next meeting that will be closed out. Lake Max Phase 2, as you can see, because several of you live in that area, that project is nearing significant completion. Of course, there'll still be punch list and some work there, but they have gotten toward the north end of the project. And I just wanted to let you know, I've actually received some emails and compliments on Geary Up. They are terrific at communicating, enough so that I would like to send a letter from the town to the company leadership there just to express how grateful we are for the work they've done in this project. Bob and I would highly recommend they bid on future projects with us and anyone else because we feel they've done a really good job.
Do you want a motion to that effect?
Certainly, if that authorizing Bill to sign such a letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion made by Bill Clevenger, seconded by Sally to send a letter of recommendation to Garrett for future work
I will
by our
draft
town
that.
manager.
I'll draft that and have Bill sign it.
All
Is
in
there
favor?
a
All in favor?
vote?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you. Lake Max Phase 3 is still status quo. We're waiting on the environmental for that project as well as Slate and Jefferson Street. As you know, it's an NDOT project, so that can take a while. Project proposal for Midwestern. I'm just waiting on that legal description and I'll move it on. Otherwise, that easement agreement is ready. Peerless proposal for a new well. I have given you a copy of the easement for Davis Street. Bob and I met with Wade McGee and Al Collins, and we've already approved this easement agreement in an earlier meeting. However, Mr. McGee wanted to have his attorney review it, and he's approved some costs. So he would like for that agreement to have a $500 purchase. So I changed the dollar amount that Jim and I had written in there before to $500. And if you are inclined to approve that, then I will have him sign it. There's a copy of it in this book that all of you would have to sign, and I believe I have to get it notarized.
Yes, because we want to record it.
Yeah, Julie Cow has her notary, so I can do that here. But I just wanted to let you know, it's going to look a little different than some of the documents you guys sign.
So is there a motion to approve the $500 fee for the purchase?
So,
Second.
Motion made by Bill Clevenger, seconded by Bill Ham to approve $500 fee for purchase of the easement involving Wade McGee property. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay. Next on the agenda, I'm skipping down to the manhole. The manhole by the bank that we've had barricaded off as well. Bob got a quote that I emailed to all of you with the amount of $9,104. And he would like to have that approved so we can get that fixed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Bill Clinton, second by Bill Ham to approve fixing the manhole cover in front of the manhole in front of the First Farmers drive-through facility in the amount of $9,104. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
The park project, Stellar project, as I let you know, we've got that one going out to bid. There's a pre-bid meeting coming up after Memorial Day. And that's just where Shannon can answer questions of any potential bidders. We have had good interest in this. People have contacted Amber, and we've had Mike resend the bid packet. So we're expecting to see some come in for that. The Beach Lodge building, Bob talked to the contractor today and emphasized that we really want that work to get started. We do know that he has created the railing, which is the other thing you guys approved, and he should be showing up to install that on that pavilion. But we are finding that we're having to sort of push hard to get that stuff done. Under, where am I at here? Town manager updates. Skipping over 415, you approved that tonight on the full reads. Comprehensive plan. We're meeting again with MACOG Thursday of this week. They're coming to the Crossroads Culver meeting. They've recently sent the leadership team some finalized options for how we brand the actual comprehensive plan with some logos. They're quite nice. They took the feedback from the leadership team and really made some nice pieces out of that. So I suspect that'll get approved this week. They've also come up with some ideas for how to do public engagement, several great ideas that we're going to implement over the summer. And you all will be invited to those. I'll let you know dates for those when we get those firmed up. Community Crossings Grant, Bob and I are working on documents for that. They have, NDOT has provided us the first signed form for that. There will be other documents that you've already authorized Bob to sign. In fact, we will be working on that tomorrow. And we have, I believe, 8 weeks to get some of that turned in. Let's see, special event permits. We don't have any this week, unusual. Broadband Task Force, as you know, RFP is out. I've already been told by some companies they intend to submit proposals to us. And we did put a message out on TGL about this project just to inform the public. I received a lot of thank you for doing fiber emails. And I am still trying to get published in Indy and South Bend Trib, which I believe are owned by the same company because they have the exact same website. I did reach out to Jamie, thinking maybe they have a contact. I'll see if you guys might have one in that. I filled out all their forms online and nobody has written back. So no surprise, but at least we know we have some companies that are planning on submitting.
Cadet Holdings. That's the owner, Cadet Holdings.
Okay. Yeah, I can find that. I found all kinds of things on About Us and Contact Us. And I'm like, I would spend money and give it to you. Marshall County Crossroads. I just wanted to let you know that Plymouth approved a $520,000 contribution to the Rezone's match. So now Culver and Plymouth are on board. That was voted on last night by the city council.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So I believe it's coming up for a vote with Bremen either tonight or at their next council meeting. I can't remember. I think Bremen was this week. So, well, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know. I just found that out before our meeting today.
Good.
And that is it under the common report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to department head reports.
I don't believe that we'll have
Jeff is on.
Jeff or Bob tonight.
Okay. So fire. Terry, do you have anything else?
Just to let you know that we contacted all the fire departments, fire chiefs in the county about the Scott errors that we had, and I've so far had 2 replies of interest. And there's been no money really spoken of yet, so we have departments that are interested in equipment.
That's good.
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Wayne is not online.
Wayne's
So
not on. Amber, are you on?
she is.
Yes, I am.
What you got for us?
So the first item is I wanted to, we usually do this, so get approval for this in the past. Since the Culver Youth Club auction is back on this year, I did save a boat slip for that auction. In years past, we would always auction off a slip. We would give them a slip to auction off for bid. We didn't last year, obviously, because of COVID, but I was hoping to get approval tonight to go ahead and do that for 2022.
Is there a motion to approve Amber donating a boat slip to the Culver Youth Club auction?
Amber, this is Rich. What's the value of the slip, just so we? The cost?
Yeah, on average around $1,000.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Bill Ham, seconded by Sally to allow Amber to donate a Culver boat slip to the Culver Youth Club auction on June 10th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I will abstain since I'm on the board for the Culver Youth Club. So the vote will be 401.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, Amber?
I did want to let you guys know, we did, on behalf of the Youth Culver Crossroads team, approach Culver Redevelopment Commission. They gave a little presentation, and I'll be working with them as we were funded $15,500 to provide furnishing for the downstairs of the beach lodge area to kind of create a teen center. So that's a project we're going to start working on. We're kind of hitting peak season, but I'm going to try my best to work on it because they had some seniors in the group.
Sounds good.
Question for Amber. She's finished. When Amber's finished, I had a question about boat slips.
Anything else, Amber?
We start this weekend. Our official beach season starts on Saturday, so we're gearing up for that. So we'll have lifeguards on duty, concessions, restrooms open, starting this Sunday. So, and then we got to enjoy elementary school kids today at the beach. It was their annual beach day, so we had lifeguards and concessions for them, but it was a lot of fun. So hours are posted though on our website and brochures if anybody has any questions, but yeah, we'll hit the ground running Saturday.
Very good. Anything else?
That is all.
Rich?
Amber, I had a question about the boat slip rentals on the April financials for the pier slip rentals, comparing the 21 and 22 season. the 22 season is about $8,500 less than the 21 season. You may not know, and it's not that big a deal, but I mean, as we look at park expenditures that I certainly support for things like the CCD cameras and other things, I wonder why there would be that discrepancy. I don't think our rates went down.
No, I can explain that. So we actually get people to pay for their slips earlier. I think I set pretty hard deadlines now. And so if I have so we send out our renewals in October. So this year they'll go out 2022. And so anytime anyone pays, from October to December, then that goes in that fiscal year. So we're doing the same amounts, and actually every year we're doing more because I'm adding PWC spaces. But I had Karen break it down for me, but we have only increased since the past 4 years, and then also including this year, we've only made an increase. But the reasoning for that discrepancy is because we are collecting more in the fall versus the spring of that season.
Karen's report accounts for that. It shows what was collected in 2021 and was collected in 2022, and also the prior year, what was collected in 2020 versus 2021. Do we provide a discount for that early pay?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right, so that may account for it.
So technically, we're still collecting in 22, are we not? Like if we collect this October through December, it's going to still go on this year.
Right. That's what you
Through October
said.
through
Right.
December? No,
This fiscal year.
the way Karen accounts for it, she's looking at them as a slip rental for this year, and then the dollars collected in over 2 years. So if
Oh, okay, I see
So-
what you're saying.
money collected October through December would count toward 2023.
Next year.
Right,
So,
but it's receipted and accounted
right,
for
and I
this year.
thought, and I thought our slips were full, and so and I knew you were adding your PWC slips for pipe stands for kayaks and paddle boards. It just, so
Anything else, Rich?
that was it. Thank you.
Anything else?
No,
Amber?
not for me.
Thank you, ma'am. Boards and commissions, plan commission.
I have a question on utilities. Is he on?
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not.
Jenny, do you have any kind of an update as to our wall unit going on 2 years?
Yeah, I think we received a part, but I think, if I remember right, Bob said they still can't install it. There's something missing that we still need. So we received one of the parts we've been waiting on, hopefully by the next meeting. I turned it down to 68 before the meeting started, but
Well, yeah, but it's only 65 outside.
yeah,
Okay.
we're slowly getting the pieces we need.
Okay, plan commission,
Plan Commission, working on some ordinance changes and updates right now. We have one case coming up for June for the Plan Commission on a rezoning or a parcel split, major split. So that'll be coming up in June. And other than that, we've got about 7 or 8 updates to make on our zoning ordinance.
that's it. BZA,
BZA, busiest BZA in the county. Guys are doing a tremendous job.
In the state.
What?
In northern Indiana.
Yeah, northern Indiana, okay. Thank you. But we have 2 cases coming up for that. One on hold, probably will be heard in July. Not anything major as far as that goes. Guys are doing a very good job with the BZA.
that's it. Redevelopment,
Redevelopment, as you heard from Amber, did approve $15,000 to fix up the lower level of the beach lodge so that the youth and the community can get together.
That's good.
Hopefully bring friends in and increase the number of people coming to our fair city. We also approved $7,000 for branding for advertising for the Lake Fest.
Okay.
And that's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bill, just an FYI, for the Plan Commission, we did arrange for an executive session about the pending litigation. Jim agreed to meet with the Plan Commission members before their next meeting.
Okay.
So, thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Anyone here for the tree commission or anyone online for tree commission? Clerk's report.
Karen is online. Karen, would you like to do a clerk's report? Okay. Perhaps not.
Well, we've got one claim for over 2,000.
Yep.
Two sellers, 3,185 for the park and under contractual services. We need a motion for claim over 2,000.
So
Second.
Motion made by Sally, seconded by Rich to approve claims over 2,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I think really she just wanted those abatements approved too, Bill, so that's all
We've
I had.
done that, so we approved the abatements, so
Yep.
we're done there. Attorney's report.
Just two quick things. I already informed you that at the last meeting, I advised that the VIP, the Van Hawk entities lawsuit against the fire department and the town and county had that they came in at the last minute, and the lawyer filed a motion to withdraw, asked for an extension. Didn't realize it, but that afternoon, Judge Palmer denied the request for extension of time. So at this point, I think everything's concluded. I suppose he could find somebody to appeal this denial decision. So I'm waiting 30 days before I get together with all of you folks and we start celebrating. The other thing is I know it was a bit on the, I got here and was able to take in part of the Unsafe Building Committee and the processes going on there. Took some time, but progress seemed to be made, and I'm telling you, you'll speed up that process. So good job, I thought, from afar looking on it. So
Thank you, Lynn. I think Jim did a good job. And now the system's in place.
and I think you'll see people start reacting.
I think so too.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, sir. Anyone in the room or online for a utility shut off or ordinance violation? Hearing or seeing none. Moving on to citizen input. Anyone online for citizen input? Not hearing any. Is there anyone in the room for citizen input? If so, state your name and go. Yeah, correct.
Here, Chesapeake, 520 South Plymouth. Just concerned if any kind of grass violation letter have been issued for Church of the Lake.
Yes, I actually talked to them today too. The person working on the inside of that building sent her photos and notified her, and she was mortified. The person working in the building, the son is going to take care of it because apparently the lawn service that she had the past couple of years stopped without telling her. So she was very apologetic. I told her I would be driving by it tomorrow. I run by it, so I knew about it already and had reached out to her. And then I heard from a citizen as well, so I let her know, and she wanted me to apologize to the neighbors. But I will confirm whether it gets what got mowed today or by morning, and she knows I will be issuing the letter if it's not.
then around the corner is Akron.
Yes. Yep, I just sent that one certified mail today.
And how quickly should,
You get 10 days. Yeah, from the date of the letter, so today's date for that one.
and as far as future decrepit property notifications, as far as somebody wanting to put one on the list, how does that?
You could pretty much inform any council member, because they all sit on the unsafe building committee now,
Is there a process?
or myself. But what would need to happen is Chuck would need to inspect that property and deem whether it's unsafe, or if it's not unsafe, if it's just unsightly and needs cleanup. The ones you heard about at the meeting tonight, the 3, those all had demo orders on them or partial demo. There's also a list of, I believe, 8 other properties that have cleanup orders. And that's a little different than the demo orders. Those don't have public hearings unless the property owner requests it. And then once the date by which they have to complete that work has passed, they get issued another letter those will be going out to those people.
Are there other ones that are in the hopper, so to speak, to be reviewed?
There's currently 8
For demo?
active. No, not for demo, for cleanup.
No
There's
demos,
only
yeah.
the 3 that are on their demo list.
Let's send those in an email. It's me, then whoever.
Yeah, and if it's outside of our jurisdiction, but within our 2-mile zoning, it becomes an EZA issue according to our attorney. It follows a different process, just so you know. But if it's within our jurisdiction, it follows the current process that our new unsafe building ordinance has.
Kevin?
I just wanted to tell you, I was at several of the meetings with Plymouth, and your leadership with the blue zones made a difference in moving it forward there, and we'll probably keep that ball rolling through the county.
Thank you for that comment. Anyone else for citizen input? Okay, moving on. Council issues. Go ahead.
I have nothing.
Rich?
Nothing.
Wait,
Nothing.
Alex?
I had one of my neighbors, not like next door neighbor, but in the area I live in, said that he wished that there was a post office box that you could drive up to. And I know it doesn't really fall under the town, but I know that I think it's probably 5 or 6 years ago that town approached the post office postmaster about seeing if we could locate a spot. So I think that one that we that some people could drive up to and just put the mail in. We could find an area in town that you could do that without crossing the road to do it.
Plymouth is actually in an alley, not behind the post office, so I mean, and there's an alley right there. Distance one suggestion.
Yeah, and I don't know if that, I mean, you could sit down there and see how semis and delivery trucks do turn that corner. And we had looked also by the bank. It has a one-way drive going in. And I thought, that possibly that would be a location that
There would be a postmaster, post office decision.
Yeah.
Do you want to be the one to go over and talk to the postmaster?
I can do that.
Why don't you do that and then see how that goes?
As long as the rest of the board.
Well, that's a good suggestion.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's raining and I have to get up and go to that box. Or
You don't
snowing.
move as
Or,
fast as you used to.
no, not the back is kind of taking care of that. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Near a wall where I can sit down.
Back when CVS was thinking about putting a window in the back, so senior citizens can drive through and pick up or anybody can drive through and pick up prescription rather than getting out, and that fell on deaf ears because.
And that's another location that we might be able to place.
Yeah.
We do see people struggle here to enter the building at times, depending on weather, that sort of thing. And so I can totally understand why that might be an issue for people.
We'll check it out. You go check it out, that'd be great. And I have nothing. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Rich, seconded by Cy to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I just want you guys to know, I think I filled like 20 sheets of paper tonight.
Is there one?
I don't think we'll ask Karen in 8 minutes.
Didn't you record it?
Yes,
Oh, good.
recorded and filled.
And still.
Oh, no, I didn't look.
I asked him about Chuck.
Chuck.